Kevin Nealon is with us this morning here at Q1043. Welcome. We're glad to have you with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, you've got a big weekend tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday over at Caroline's on Broadway, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But first, when I did the investigation that one ordinarily does prior to welcoming a guest to the Q1043 studio, I came across something very interesting about your character, Doug Wilson, on Weeds on Showtime. I wanted to learn about Doug, and of course, Doug's a city councilman and an accountant and a part-time pot dealer.
Yeah.
Here's what was described as Doug Wilson's strengths. This is the character, of course, that Kevin plays. Strengths. Yeah. Political savvy, loves to party, hung like a horse.
But do you prove it?
He doesn't do the nude scenes, but
really, it said political savvy, huh?
But I'll tell you what a weird thing. If you go online and look up your own character to read that one of Doug Wilson's strengths is he's hung like a horse, how does anybody? Well,
I don't know where they got that from. I honestly don't, because there was never anything mentioned about that in the series. Although I did do a pilot for Adam Sandler once. He wasn't in it, but it was for these two comedians, and I was playing myself. And my character myself did not have genitalia. I just had like a mound, like a Ken doll. Luckily, the show never went.
Did you ever strip Barbie when you were a kid?
Yes, I did.
Yes, so did I.
And it cost me like $20 each time.
Yeah. But Weeds on Showtime has been a big hit for you, and I was wondering if you wouldn't mind if you could tell me just a little something about Mary Louise Parker, because
he loves her.
Well, she has an essence that I can't quite understand. She does not look like a sex symbol, but she clearly is one. She gives off some sort of pheromone thing that we can sense through the TV.
Yeah.
Now, you've actually been in a room with the woman.
Yes.
I mean, what do you sniff in the air?
Well, she certainly exudes a lot of pheromones, and she's very sexy. She really is, and I think some of the scenes that, especially this season, have been on Saturday Night Live have been very tantalizing.
But you understand what I mean. She doesn't fit the traditional sex symbol mode. I mean, she's pretty, she's attractive, she's hot, but the traditional sex symbol.
Yeah. Well, I think she's also very intelligent. I think that's what's throwing you a little bit. She's and a lot of sexy women don't seem intelligent.
Well, her character on The West Wing drove me absolutely insane. I just wanted to embrace the TV.
She's a very good actress, and she's got a lot of different levels to her acting, and I think she really knows how to work them all.
And you mentioned Adam Sandler before. You, of course, are a part of that whole Adam Sandler gang, the clique.
Also very sexy.
A good clique to be in.
Yeah, a good group of friends to be in. I guess it's true. You can make friends. When you have a job, you can go make friends. When the job is over, those friends can remain friends forever. That's a cool thing.
Yeah, Sandler's always been, he loves his friends, and he loves comics, and you'll see a lot of comics in his films because he loves doing stand-up. I worked with him on Saturday Night Live, and we got to become friends, and he had me do Happy Gilmore, that movie, and then just started having me do more and more films. And they were always embarrassing roles. Whenever he would call me, it would be something like I was in Little Nicky, and I had to have breasts on my head. I played the gatekeeper of hell.
First the mound, then the breasts on the head.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not good.
Anger management, I played as gay lawyer. So whenever he calls me now, it's like I kind of avoid the call a little bit because I know he's going to be asking, hey, Nealon, you're going to be in my movie. You're going to be playing a guy who's got diarrhea all the time. Yes, how's that sound? Does that sound good?
What is it with Adam Sandler that he doesn't like to be interviewed? He always refuses. Right? Yes, he's always refusing. He doesn't want to talk. He's a great actor. He's so funny. He's so talented. Yeah. Doesn't want to talk.
I guess I don't know what it is.
I guess you'd have to ask him.
Yeah,
I can't. That's the whole point. I'm asking his friend. I'm just curious.
I had heard that. I think I had heard that once before somewhere. I guess if you don't have to be interviewed, well, why would he want to get up at 6 in the morning?
Oh, come on. It's not that bad.
It's not like he ties you up here.
Kevin Nealon.
No, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. But he works late into the night because he's a workaholic. I get to go to sleep early, so I don't mind getting up early.
Kevin Nealon's with us here at Q1043. We'll be right back. Kevin Nealon is with us this morning here at New York's Classic Rock, Q1043. It must make you feel good that the general consensus is that it's beyond arguably you are the best Saturday Night Live weekend update anchor of all time, with a possible exception being made for Chevy Chase just because he created the position. But I think even he has been quoted as saying that no one has handled that position better than you.
Oh, I think that's nice of you to say that, but that's not true. I think that part of a weekend update anchor is it's a very subjective role. I think people have their favorites, and whenever you come on and take over for the person in front of you, it's like, you're becoming the next president. People are very judgmental, and they kind of miss the person that was on before you. So it takes like a year or two to kind of, win people over. But there's been some great people up there. And Chevy Chase was one of my favorites that did it, and I kind of emulated my style after his. And one of the fun times for me was when he came on and did a weekend update with me. Because I remember he couldn't see the cue cards at this point in his life, and he was stumbling over words, and he had glasses, and he was leaning out, and it was very seldom do I break character on that show, but I could not stop laughing.
Do you think they still use cue cards for Weekend Update, or not prompters?
No prompters. There's something about they like
because
cue
the real anchor people on TV use prompters.
Yeah.
I mean, they look right into the camera lens, and the words are going by at their rate. Of reading.
But they have the prompters up pretty close to them, too. On that Saturday Night Live, they have an audience, so they need to pull the cameras back so that people can see. And they just love the cue cards, and it's very disconcerting sometimes when they drop the cue cards. And they're holding, they have a guy that...
It's a big stack.
It's a big, thick stack,
right.
And they're big cards, and they hand it off to another guy when you're finished reading, and sometimes they don't get to the next cue card in time. And you're just so worried they're going to drop all the cards. They should go to the prompter. You never see a camera falling over.
I know you have some movies coming up. You have Weeds. I was wondering how the writer's strike is affecting you.
Well, it hasn't affected Weeds yet because we start taping in April. But if it doesn't end soon, I think I could push it back a little bit. But I think the writer's strike has been good for the writers because it's probably the most exercise that they've gotten since 1989, I think. With the picket lines and stuff.
You're right.
I was out there on the picket lines with them, and there were, a lot of writers are really out of shape. And I'm thinking, this is good for them. This is good. This will be good. There should be more strikes.
Okay, this weekend you have, quite the performance schedule over at Caroline's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shows. And you worked last night.
Yeah, I did. Good crowd. Killed.
Now, 5 shows. I mean, those 5 shows. Is there ever a situation? Let's say it's a hypothetical. Tonight you've got an 8:00 show and a 10:30 show, and you do a bit in the 8:00 show, and the whole place goes crazy. Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
And then you do the same exact bit in the 10:30 show. People are just staring
and
at
nothing.
you. Does that ever happen?
Many times.
And have you ever tried to figure out why?
Oh, I know why.
What's the why?
Well, there's a couple of reasons why, I think. A, I'm tired. I don't do it as well. B, the audience is tired or drunk because it's a later show and they've been drinking and they're not listening or paying attention. Or C, I don't know what C is.
Okay, well, C.
I just said 3 because comedy.
C. Kevin Nealon at Caroline's on Broadway.
There you go.
Tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, 8:00 and 10:30 shows tonight and tomorrow night, and then on Sunday there's an 8 p.m. show. And as I've mentioned before, the food is great. If you're going to go there, have dinner.
Yeah.
Don't just have drinks. Have dinner. The chef does a great job.
Or just go and have dinner and don't stay for the show. Why stay for the show?
Well, actually, you can do that in the bar area.
Can you?
If you so choose.
You guys should be on TV.
But what could
I could see this as a TV show.
What could our friends expect when they see you this weekend?
Depends on which friends you're talking about.
Our friends who are going to spend money to see you because they are your fans.
That's a good question, Jim. They could expect to see some really entertaining comedy. Comedians. What I do in my act, a lot of people don't know I do stand-up, by the way, which is really interesting to me because that's really what I started out doing way before Saturday Night Live. I did the Tonight Show and Letterman, Carson, all that. And I've never stopped doing it. But people just associate me with Saturday Night Live, so they think they're going to see sketches or characters. And occasionally I'll do some characters from SNL, like Mr. Subliminal or some Weekend Update stuff, or I'll talk about Hans and Franz. But mostly it's kind of my twist on life, my observations on things, and my kind of understanding of the way I think life works, and getting to be more honest comedy, which I've always been trying to do, is talk about real things.
So would you call yourself a monologuist?
I would call myself an American, I think, to begin with.
All right. Well, if you'd like to see this wonderful American...
Now he's running for office.
If you'd like to see this, he already is an office holder in Weeds. Yeah, Doug Wilson, who's,
he's got the bug.
Yeah, anyway.
I've never been called a monologuist, but that's interesting, monologuist.
That almost sounds dirty.
I'd rather be a stereologist. Monologist.
It's Kevin Nealon at Caroline's on Broadway tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday night. We have a pair of tickets we're going to give away for free right now at 1-888-872-1043. These tickets come from Kevin Nealon's personal private stash. which he has.
Some of those go back to 1987, by the way. Yeah, clubs have closed, and I still have the tickets.
And we thank you for dropping by this morning at Q1043.